brain rot.
From brain rot.
My brain rots.
Brain rot, right?
Brain rot. Why?
Brain rot?
Brain rot.
Have you ever opened your laptop to work, and after 20 minutes, you were still staring at a blank screen? You know what you want to do, but your brain refuses to cooperate. Or maybe you've noticed it's harder to read books than it used to be. Maybe your creativity has disappeared. Maybe you can't focus without checking your phone every few minutes. It feels like you're becoming dumber. But neuroscience tells a very different story. In 2004, neuroscientist Bogdan Dragansky and colleagues published a landmark study in Nature titled Changes in Gray Matter Induced by Training. They asked a simple question: can the adult brain change in response to learning? To test this, they scanned people before and after 3 months of juggling practice. The results were striking. After training, participants showed increases in gray matter in brain areas linked to visual motion. When practice stopped, some of those changes faded. The study showed that the adult brain is not fixed. It adapts to repeated experience. So if juggling can reshape the brain, what might constant scrolling and multitasking be doing to it? If our brains become better at whatever we repeatedly do, why do so many people feel like they've lost their creativity? Why does it become harder to think differently, solve unfamiliar problems, or come up with original ideas? The answer lies in how the brain builds and uses its neural networks. Every time you think, learn, or experience something new, your brain forms connections between neurons. Creativity isn't a mysterious gift reserved for a few exceptional people. It's the brain's ability to connect ideas that weren't previously linked, to combine existing knowledge in a new and meaningful way. The richer and more diverse these neural connections become, the greater your ability to think outside the box. But when your brain spends most of its time following the same patterns, consuming the same type of information, and repeating the same mental routines, it naturally favors familiar pathways over new ones. In other words, the brain doesn't stop being creative. It simply becomes more efficient at thinking the way it has always thought. If creativity depends on our brain's ability to build new connections, then anything that interferes with this process doesn't just affect our attention, it changes the way we think. Over the past few years, a new expression has exploded across the internet: brain rot. It's often used as a joke to describe spending hours scrolling through meaningless content or consuming endless streams of entertainment. But what if there's more truth behind the joke than we realize? Brain rot isn't an official medical diagnosis. You won't find it in neuroscience textbooks. Yet the habits people associate with it, constant distraction, information overload, and an endless search for novelty, can profoundly influence how our brains process information. So what is actually happening inside the brain? And could our daily habits be rewiring it in ways that make deep thinking and creativity increasingly difficult? In 2023, researchers at LMU Munich set out to answer a simple question: can just a few minutes of scrolling through short-form videos affect our ability to think? They recruited 60 participants who first completed a cognitive test measuring prospective memory, the ability to remember and carry out an intended action. Participants were then split into groups. One group rested, another watched YouTube, another browsed Twitter, while the last group spent 10 minutes scrolling TikTok. After the break, everyone repeated the same test. The results were striking. The TikTok group showed a significant decline in prospective memory, suggesting that even a brief session of rapid short-form content can temporarily impair our ability to retain intentions. So, are we really becoming dumber? Probably not. The evidence doesn't suggest that our intelligence is disappearing, but it does suggest something just as important. Our brains are adapting. Every notification, every swipe, every endless scroll is teaching our brain what deserves its attention. And the more we repeat a behavior, the more our brain becomes optimized for it. The good news is, that works both ways. If a few months of juggling can physically reshape the brain, if years of navigating city streets can strengthen memory, then the opposite is also true. Reading, learning, creating, solving difficult problems, they all train the brain too. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's adapting to the world you expose it to every single day. So maybe the real question isn't, am I becoming dumber? Maybe the better question is, what am I training my brain to become? Because every day, every choice, every habit is quietly shaping the person you'll be tomorrow. And that's a choice only you can make. Thanks for watching.